The Agoa Forum kicked off today at the Newzroom Center in Johannesburg, and business leaders and other stakeholders are discussing ways to harness U.S. markets through Agoa. And I am now joined by the Gauteng MEC for Economic Development, and that is Tasneem Motara. Thank you so much for talking to us. Now, you had already given us an indication of the kind of discussions that will be taking place during this year's Agoa. Just give us in highlights again, an overview of what your department specifically and GGDA will be focusing on.
We are going to be focusing on especially businesses and how we can ready them to still take full advantage of the remaining years of AGOA. I think that's where we've been lacking as Gauteng especially, and Gauteng businesses. If you look at the stats, businesses that have participated and have benefited from the AGOA agreement have been mostly in the agriculture space. Yes, they have been in the fresh produce space, as well as the poultry, of course, we know. And they have been manufacturers, but I think there is a bigger opportunity still for Gauteng-based manufacturers, especially those that are coming out of COVID. They are resuscitating themselves. They've had to diversify. They've also had to look at new markets. And we want to really focus on the business side, the business aspects of it.
Now, there's a lot of moving parts specifically for your department, because you're dealing with the special economic zones. You've got the African Continental Free Trade Area that you have to consider. How do we make all those moving parts then work for the benefits specifically of the province as the biggest economy in the country?
So yes, I think we've got the 10 sectors that we're focusing on, and the different sectors play a role in different aspects of reviving the economy. So some are, while you have manufacturing, so you're speaking about the SEZ specifically, that we are focusing on manufacturing for export. And then you've got manufacture for local consumption or for regional consumption, and that's where the Africa Free Trade Area agreement comes into play. I think for us, we've just got to be able to make sure we match like for like, but also we linking those that are relevant with the policy frameworks that can support them. So you don't want somebody who's manufacturing something that is not, for instance, on the list of the products that will benefit through AGOA, and they focus on wanting to export to the US, and then because they don't fall within the framework of AGOA, they are hit by high tariffs. You'd rather direct them for export into the African market, where they can benefit from the Africa Free Trade Area Agreement. So I think that just nuanced approach, making sure that we do additional due diligence, of course. But like I said, many companies have had to diversify. Many have had to look at new markets for export. The rand to the dollar is quite healthy if you're looking at exporting your product. But of course, if you're importing, you can't necessarily afford imports from the Euro or the Americas. So that's the kind of work that we're doing. Yes, we do keep an eye on the policy issues. We do keep an eye on we are keeping an eye on what Congress might do post this period. That's very important for us, so that we also tilt what we have to do to accommodate that. There's a big discussion about regional support, so regional integration. So, if we stay in AGOA, how do we also support the region, not just for South Africa? So I think it does need us to be a bit agile and to be able to tilt to match whatever it is that the new AGOA, if I could call it that, will look like.
MEC, thank you for talking to us. And of course, that is Gauteng's MEC for Economic Development, that is Tasneem Motara, just talking us through some of the high-level conversations that her department, as well as the Gauteng Growth and Development Agency, will be having with the various stakeholders regarding AGOA, and just taking those relationships forward, and the importance of that regional collaboration in order to see those businesses being able to enter the U.S. markets. For Newzroom Afrika on channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Sandton.